Hey guys, welcome back to another Flutter video. So in this video, as I promised earlier, I'm going to show you guys how you can use Firebase, add Firebase to your app and register users with the help of Firebase authentication. So guys, I am taking the form which we built in the last video. So I have modified the UI a bit. I have included the text fields and the form fields and also the button in different widgets so that it actually looks more organized. So as you guys can see, I have this form registration form in which the user will have to give the email and the password, and as soon as I hit the submit button, it actually gets registered to my Firebase console. So let me show you guys. So here I am at my Firebase console. So currently I have no user for my project, as I have not registered any user earlier. So as soon as it loads up, so as you guys can see, I have no users for my project. So I can also add user manually through my Firebase console, but I'll not do it because it is of no use right now. So I'll go to my app. Let me make this a bit bigger. So as you guys can see, I have modified the user interface a bit. I have actually made the code look a bit more organized. So in this video, I'll basically show you how you can add Firebase, and we'll focus on the UI later on. Or you guys can go to my description and get the code so that you guys can follow along with the respective user interface. So here I have a random email. So this is a random email, and I have given a random password, and let me hit the submit button. And as soon as I hit the submit button, I have also replaced the snack bar in the last video with this circular indicator, as you have guys seen right now. So let me refresh my Firebase console, and as soon as I refresh my Firebase console, you guys can see that I have this user max@max.com. So this user is being registered in my Firebase console. This is it, guys. So in this video, I will show you how you can make this users register with the help of Firebase, and in the next videos we'll focus on the login part, so that the user can because this password and the email ID are being saved in the Firebase console, and the users can log in now after they have created or they have registered in your app. So let me first go through the code. So as you guys can see, I have this login or sign up page, stateful, which is a stateful widget, and here I have the let me show you this is the body of our app. So as you guys can see, here we have a container. Actually, I have rebuilt the body because that last part was a bit messy, so I've organized it, and the UI is actually just same. The submit button is a bit longer now. So anyways, guys, I will give the code in the description so that you guys can follow. So as you guys can see, I have this container, and it has a child, which is a form, and I have this form key, which is actually a global key. I have talked about it in the last video. So uh, right here I have I have a child which is a list view, and this list view has the children, which is one is the email input, and the other one is the password input. And let me make this font size a bit bigger so that you guys can see it more clearly. uh, so I hope you guys can see more clearly now. So we have this widget. One is for our email input. So this is for our email input, show email input, then show password input, then show the primary button, and also we have one error message. So first of all, let's start with the email input. So this is a text form field which will take a input type of email address. So if I go right here, so this the keyboard type is set to text input type dot email address. So in this keyboard type here, we get this @ which is this A. symbol right onto our keyboard. So that's it. That's the benefit of giving a keyboard type. And then moving on to our show password input widget. Here you guys can see we have used the obscure text so that the password remains hidden. And then we have our primary button, which is the raise button, which is the which actually has a child of text submit button. So this is basically a submit button. And that's it. So going back to the password, as you guys can see, we have actually saved the value because we have to save the value. So in the last part we have validated the input fields, but now we need to store the value at within a variable so that we can access it. And we have saved it. So as you guys can see, we have saved our email and our password. So here so we have used the on saved option, and we have saved the email with this value dot trim. So this value dot trim actually means that this trim actually excludes the empty spaces. So suppose I hit the email and I have any empty space right in front of it or after this email, then we don't want these empty spaces to be counted. So we are using this value dot trim option, which actually excludes the empty spaces right before and after this string, so that only the main value is saved. So we have used this for this. We have created an email variable, and we have stored our email value in there. And we have also created this password, and we have stored our password there. And after that we also have created a validate and submit option. So let me show you guys. So this is the validate and submit option. So this validate and submit option method is an asynchronous method. And it actually first we have set this error message as blank, and also we have set this is loading is as true, because since we are using this circular indicator, which you guys, if I do this, I'll show you guys again. So let me replace it with ABC, and if I hit submit, then you can see this circular indicator. So we have used this is loading option for that, so that if the is loading option is true, then the circular indicator will go on, and if it is set to false, then the circular indicator will stop. And then here we have conditional. So if validate and save, so we have created another method, which is the validate and save method. So in the last video, while we were using the snack bar, we use this form key dot current state directly, but now we are using it now we are assigning it to a form, and then we are actually validating this form. So form dot save, we are saving this form, and then we are putting this a validate and save method in this conditional. So if this validate and save method is done, then the string, which is this user ID, is blank. But when the user signs up with his email ID and password, this user ID has a value. So as you guys can see, we have this value, and this is the widget.signin method, which I'll this will basically be used during the login part. So right now I have just commented it, and I'll show you in the next videos when we actually build the login page. So right now let's focus on this part. So we have stored this user value in this. We have actually stored this the user ID, or the value when the user actually signs up with his email and password. So we have stored it in this user ID variable, which is a string variable. And we have used this option, which is the auth option. So I'll talk about this in a short while. So, and after this, going back to our main body. So here you guys can see this is our scaffold. So inside the scaffold we have this app bar, and then in the body part we have a stack. So what is a stack? So stack is basically we can put one widget on top of another, that is a stack. So here we have put the circular progress indicator right on top of our form to indicate that the data is being loaded or the user is getting signed up. So we have used this, and we have two children. One is the show body, which I've talked about it earlier. So the show body contains our this form field, this email field, this password field, and this submit button. And after that we have this circular progress indicator. So what is this circular progress indicator? So basically this circular progress indicator is a widget, and it takes this is loading value. Remember we have talked about it before, that if this is loading is true, so if this is loading is set to true, then this circular progress indicator will run, and if it is set to false, then it will not run. That's it, that's simple. We have nothing here, that's why. And after that I have created a new folder which I have named as services, and inside this services folder I have created this authentication.dart file. So inside this authentication.dart file we basically have the linkage between the Firebase and our app. So this is the code which links our app with the Firebase. So this is very important. So here we have imported the Dart async package to perform the asynchronous tasks, and then we have also imported this Firebase Auth. So Firebase Auth is actually a package. Let me show you. So if you go to just let's say pub .dev, so here you will get all the Flutter packages. You can go and search. So if I search here Firebase, and so this is the package which we are using in this video. So this is the Firebase authentication plugin. So this will help you to authenticate or to sign, to register your users in your app. So how we have used it? So first of all, go to pubspec.yaml, and then right under this dependencies section, you need to add this Firebase Auth, and you need to give the version number, which is the current which will be the current version number depending on when you are watching this video. So I am using the version number of 0.14. Let me check if this is, yes, this is the latest one. So I'm using this, and after that, after adding the Firebase Auth plugin to your app or to your pubspec.yaml, and do remember one thing, that this Firebase Auth or the package which you are including in your pubspec.yaml file should not be same to the name of your project folder. So my project folder name is Firebase Authentication. So and here this package is Firebase underscore auth. So there is no issue. And if my project name was like Firebase underscore auth, then there would have been an issue. So be careful about that. And then after that we will need to import this Firebase auth package right into our authentication.dart file, and then we will create a class namely as base auth. And then here we have this two we have the sign up option, and it takes two values, actually the email and the password, and this implements this Firebase auth dot instance. So this Firebase auth is actually the Firebase authentication SDK. And after that we have created this future sign up method, and it is an asynchronous method, as I've told you before, and then it will await for the user to create the user with the respective email and the password as Firebase user, and then it will return the user with an user ID. And that user ID, let me show you guys. So this is the user ID. So I hope you guys can see. So this little part is the user ID which is being given by Firebase, and that's it. And after that let me show you how you can create a new console or a new project in Firebase. So I'll just show this to you. So I'll go to firebase.google.com. So let me go to firebase.google.com, and you need to let me change this because I have registered here with a different email ID. So here we go, and then I'll go to this get started option. So I have already registered with Firebase, and I'll be taken to this part. So I have created some projects out here, but if you don't have if you have not used Firebase before, then you need to hit this add project option. And when you hit this add project option, that they will ask for a name, so you just give a name. So I'll just give test 1, and then hit continue. And then they will ask you whether you want to enable Google Analytics for this project. So I'll just let it stay enabled, and then I will continue. And then they will actually ask you to create a new account, or you can use your default account for Firebase. Just go for this default account for Firebase option, and then your project will be created. Well, actually they are creating a project, so it takes a few seconds. So meanwhile our project is getting created. So let us look again if something is left to explain here. And then here we have I guess you guys have understood how this code is working. And then I think our app is being loaded, so I will hit continue. And here you can see that your project, this is the project console. And yeah, if you want if you are using iOS, or if you're building apps or iOS, then you need to go to this iOS option. And if you're building apps for Android, then you need to go to this Android option. And if you are building for the web, then you need to go to this web option. And for now I'll be going with this Android option. So here they are basically asking the Android package name. So where will you get this Android package name? So you first need to go to your root folder of your app, and then you need to go to the Android part. So here we have the Android part, and inside the Android you'll see a folder named app. So you need to go to the app folder, and then you need to go to this build.gradle inside this app folder, which is inside the Android folder. And then here you will get this under this default config section. You will get this application ID, and this is your application ID, which you will need to put in this Android package name. So let me just copy this. So I'll just copy this com.example.firebase.auth. So actually here it is coming as Firebase underscore auth, because I have mistakenly named this folder as Firebase underscore auth before. So I was getting the error. But now let's copy this. So you guys should take care that you don't use this name, because otherwise you will also get the error, and you will have to change the name of your project later on. So be careful. Second time I'm saying that. Okay, so I'll just copy this, and I'll just paste it right here. And the other options are just optional, and you may or may not put this values, or it depends on you. So I'll just register the app, and after that you will get this Google services.json file, which you will need to download, and you will then need to put it right here. So inside this inside the Android folder of your app root directory, you need to go to the app folder. Inside the app folder you just need to put this Google services.json, which I have put it earlier. So you will need to put the JSON file inside the Android inside the app folder, which is inside the Android folder. So just copy and paste it, and then you will have to follow the next instruction, which is the adding the Firebase SDK. So first of all, now you need to go actually in our app directory we have two build.gradle files. So one is for actually so one is under directly under the Android folder, and one is under the app folder. So these two build.gradle files are different. So you need to go to the so for adding the Firebase SDK, you need to go to the build.gradle, which is inside the Android folder, not the app folder. So go to the build.gradle, which is inside the Android folder, and right here you will have to add this let me see. So you will have to add this class path. So this class path is for 4.3.2. so this is the latest class path, and my class path is 3.2.1. so this is a bit older. So yeah, so you will have to copy this up, and you will have to paste it right here in your build.gradle file. You will have to just replace it with this, and after that what you'll need to do is that you will have to check if you have the Google's Maven repository. So you need to check if you have this Google option. So I'll just check that I have these Google options here, and also you need to check if you have the same here inside this build script section. So I have this Google option that the which is the Google's Maven repository in place. So after that I will continue to the next part. So after that I will have to apply another plugin. So this is the so you will have to apply this google.jms.google services plugin. So where will you apply it is you have to go back to the build.gradle, which is inside your app folder. So go to the build.gradle, which is inside your app folder, and in the last after this dependencies section, in the last you will have to add this plugin, which is the jms.google services. So after that your app will be registered with Google. You will just need to hit next, and then they will actually verify the installation. They will actually check if the app has communicated with the servers or not, or for that you might need to just uninstall or install this app, or stop this app which is being debugged. So it depends, but after if you have followed the methods correctly, then your app should connect to the Google servers. So that's it, and after that let us add another user, so that so I'll just change the email ID, and I'll set it to Gmail, and I'll also change the password to and then submit. So let me just refresh this authentication page, and as you guys can see we have this abc at the rate of gmail.com, and this also we have done it earlier, but I have not reloaded the page. That's why we are getting this too. So that's it guys. In the next video I'll actually be building a login page, and I'll show you guys how the users can log into the app after registering, as the password and the email ID has already been saved in this Firebase console. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and regarding the user interface or the code, so I'll put a link in the description so that you guys can get the code and follow along. And that's it guys. Do share this video, do like this video if you found it helpful, and do subscribe to my channel to get notified for latest videos. So till then, see you in the next video.